Feel the rev. Taste a bit of tomorrow. Open your senses to TVS N-Torque 125.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And
मुंबई शहर है ये, कुछ भी हो सकता है इधर। मुंबई कौन है, इंडिया कौन है? हम है ना बेंचो।
Shaking, celebrating, are you playing, are you swaying, are you living?
This Diwali, get up to 100% cashback with Vivo V11 and V11 Pro.
Hello.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Nice. You can do the trade and you can start.
इसमें transitions कैसे करेंगे?
It still says this is not live. This is live.
Okay.
You select whatever you want from here. Like this will start off with video. Wait.
Here we go. 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 Here we go.
Hi guys, welcome to the stream. The stream is basically regarding the BNOC League which is ongoing right now. I'm Chintan. This is Saurabh. He's my co-host for the day.
Guys, talking about BNOC, how it's working, about the people who are powering us for this.
This stream is brought to you by AMD, and we are live here from Stealth Gaming Cafe, opposite to VIT Vellore, and which is in Tamil Nadu. Anyways, what BNOC is? BNOC stands for Big Name on Campus. The main purpose of the stream was actually to promote this, and what BNOC is that it conducts events in colleges. Colleges all across India. We are trying to push college students actually to go up and actually participate in esports league, esports tournaments, whatever. And right now, so we're actually conducting a free set of tournaments with the first season starting out right now. It started a few days back. Last week we had we actually have 6 teams for CS:GO and 7 for Dota. One of which gave a bye, so we actually had 8. Now we have 7. CS saw some amazing matches last week. We had 3 matches. The fixtures can be seen on the site. Link. These are the matches which were live for CS. 3 matches have been done, out of which Team Idli Dosa, Team Pro Ninjas, and Team Morningwood Gamers came out on top against their opponents. The actual fixtures can be found on the challenge link. Yeah. Just hold on. These we put the link in the description for the CS side. Yeah, stream is live from the place called Stealth Gaming, which is located opposite to VIT University in Vellore. And us being VIT students, this is going to be our operation center. So as you can see, it's a pretty gamey sort of place. Everything's like dark and comfortable. So anyways, as I mentioned, the CSGO League started out last weekend with 3 matches, and the fixtures link is in the given. Today we have another 3 matches, Team Pro Ninjas versus Team Morningwood Gamers at 5 p.m, Team Pro Ninjas versus Risky Baiters at 7 p.m, and the current match which is ongoing live right now, Team Ping versus Team DITNs. So the fixtures will be updated accordingly. You can keep checking the site, and moving on to Saurabh for Dota 2.
So for Dota 2, today there is a match between 3.7k analyzers and the other team, that is uh, 3.7k analyzers versus Dharmi Kirmi. The second match that was scheduled to be at night has been postponed for tomorrow, and That's it for Dota right now. Last week in Dota, one team has given a bye.
Right, so moving on to the CSGO scene again, we saw some pretty interesting matches. The scoreboards, the scores are actually posted on site, and the match between Team Ping and Team Idlitosa was actually a pretty intense one, with the first half going very high in favor of Team Idlitosa. But we did see a comeback with Team Ping winning 3 rounds consecutively. They gave Team Idlitosa a taste of their own sambar, as the Team Ping captain Rahul actually commented. So the match ended up at 16-11, which was one of the crowd favorites during the time. This happened on Sunday at 10 p.m. The matches can be seen live as of now, but the one happening right now is going on So Strong. So since So Strong does not enable spectators, we can't actually see it. Sorry for the technical issues while starting the stream. Moving on, we'll be having our season 2 starting by the end of December or from January first week. So once this season is wrapped up, we'll be actually having our own review session of what went wrong, what went right. This was more of a preliminary session where we interact with the community, see what fits them, see what doesn't. And season 2 actually has some pretty big plans. Season 2 we'll be starting off with the actual organizational structure. Since BNOC is based on the Roman culture and the Roman mythology, we are actually following a set of guidelines. These will be posted on site and on the Facebook page as well. But just to give you a brief overview, we'll be having a century lead. This will be a person from each college, each individual college in the tournament representing the college community. For example, since we are in VIT, we'll have one person from the CSGO community representing CSGO. He'll be the century lead for CSGO. One from Dota 2, one from FIFA, and we plan on including a lot of other games with titles like FIFA, PUBG, Overwatch, etc. coming in. So right now, the century lead will be the head of the college for that particular game. He'll be representing the community. He'll be interacting with the community as to what fits them, what doesn't. Above the century lead will come the cohort league. The cohort lead will actually be the head of the state. Like for example, if Tamil Nadu has say 16 colleges, VIT, IIT Madras, etc. and so on, each of the cohort leagues, each of the century leads will actually be voting amongst one of them for the cohort league. The cohort league will be the representative of the state. So at the end of the day, we'll have around 29 cohort leads from each of the individual states. And we actually have a summer camp, boot camp planned for this. And actually, it's a pretty big thing which hasn't happened in India before. So what we plan to do is with the century leads and the cohort leads, who will be electing the legion leads. The legion leads will be the head of each zone, namely north, south, east and west. Say there are 10 example in the north, we'll have Delhi, NCR region, Jammu Kashmir, etc. and so on. So all the cohort leads from each of the individual states will be coming into the summer camp. We'll be probably flying into Goa. Spoiler alert. Anyways, we'll be flying into Goa and there'll be a big boot camp for about a week where each of them will be interacting with each other, playing, getting to know about the whole tournament, about the whole organization. And then at the end of it, there'll be a voting session. We like democracy, we like Indian political masala, so we'll actually be pushing it as a democracy. And so this will be the organizational structure with respect to how the league functions. Anyways, moving on, there'll be the season 2 form. The link in the form will be put in the YouTube channel and it's already live on the Facebook page. Along with this, since we have AMD on board and the stream is powered by AMD again, there is a new league started by them called the AMD Red Team. This will actually be a league basically consisting of gamers and of streamers, casters, basically people from the community alike who will be coming in for new stuff which AMD pushes in. The same form consists of the link of the AMD Red Team. We request each one of the participants to actually fill it out along. It hardly takes 2 minutes. So the AMD Red Team is actually the primary sponsor and the primary partner due to which all of this is actually possible. Moving on, we do request some sort of feedback from the community as to what mistakes are currently ongoing in the season 1, what we can do better. Right now, since there are these many teams, we actually can, interact with each and everyone, get their individual feedback, know what's going on. And we plan on keeping a grand finale in June. So season 2, as we said, will start in Jan or late December, and we'll try to wind up within 2-3 months to start off with the season 3. The season 3 will end before the summer. By then we'll have all the cord leads in place, and after the boot camp we'll be starting off in June end or July with the final grand finale, which will be the season 4 as such. So right now the our main focus is on improving ourselves, so we appreciate any feedback you can give. Moving on to Saurabh.
What do I say? Like previous week, there was this Dota matches, and there was this one match that was between Team DITNs versus 3.7K analyzers.
Right.
So that match is like worth watching because it was a very close match. There was this comebacks sort of like they were rushing. The Radiant team, that was 3.7K analyzers, were rushing into the base of Dire, but the Dire had many comebacks, but unfortunately it lost to the Radiant side.
Right, so season 1 actually saw only CSGO and Dota because we actually had a already set community for that, and since we were just trying something new and we didn't actually have enough resources to include the other games, so in the season 2 form, the main focus for us is the games which people would be willing to play. This is an individual form where college students will be filling out for each one of the details and everything else. So what we plan to do is, if we say example have a lot of responses and a lot of people willing to play PUBG, we'll be pushing those games along with say FIFA, Overwatch, all those other titles along with them along the same league. And don't miss out on the giveaways and the goodies which will be given out at individual intervals during the tournament and at the end of the tournament. Apart from the actual prize pool, the season 1 is actually seeing a prize pool of 30,000 right now. And we plan on having the matches only on weekends, since that's when most college students are free. What do you feel about this, Saurav? That should we have matches during on weekends, or will people be comfortable actually? Say you are a part of a team, you are a part of a team, right? So will you guys be comfortable playing during say weekdays after 9 p.m. after 10 p.m.? Because what we see is that many people have a problem saying they have to upload some assignment, they have some work with respect to the college.
It's
so
not only about uploading assignments. After 9 p.m. most of the colleges get hyping, so it's most of a pause game.
Right, so we'll be pushing people towards cafes, and so since we don't want to do that, so we tend to push people to play from their comfortable environment with good ping, good FPS, their own laptops, their own PCs, whatever. So that's why we plan on planning this out across the weekends alone.
Better, because on weekends people can give you the schedule that they want. Like for season 1 we have been doing that, right? But for season 2, when the number of teams increases, we would have a kind of strict time schedules.
Right, so as we said, the fixtures are live right now. You can see it on challenge.com/BNOC and challenge.com/BNOC Dota 2 as well. So moving on, do we have any questions from the community? Like, we have a few viewers watching us right now. Do we have anything from the community right now? Actually, this week for CS we'll be seeing 6 matches, and a match to watch out for would be the matches from Team Ping and Team DITNs, which is going on right now, because those are actually pretty good teams on board. Also, the match at 7 p.m. Pro Ninjas and Risky Baiters. We expect to see some really good action there, and at the one at 5 p.m. between Pro Ninjas and Morning Wood Gamers. For tomorrow, we have two matches of Team Idli Dosa lined up. They'll be playing DITians and Morning Wood Gamers. Team DITians is a non-VIT team, so actually we'll be seeing some inter-college friction there as well. However, Team Idli Dosa versus Team Morning Wood Gamers, both the teams being from VIT, they actually know each other pretty well. So this will be actually pretty friendly match. So we expect to see a lot of informal discussions, etc. about the match. For Dota, we have a few matches lined up, as Saurav will be one time.
So currently there was a match there will be a match between DITians versus OVG. Both teams are not from VIT, and the next match that will be starting in few short minutes is 3.7k Analyzers versus Dharmi Kermi. Both are good teams. Both have like legends, ancients. So the match will be pretty good, as there will be a lot of good plays coming from both the sides. And for the Group B stage, today there is no match scheduled for Group B. Both the matches will be held tomorrow. The first match will be between All Stars and GG. That will be around at 12. And the next match will be with All Stars versus Team Masturbators.
Right, so we do have a few questions from the community, it seems. Kaushik? Kaushik, see, I think you're a part of Team Lidosa, right? Anyways, so word.exe, we are trying to push a anti-cheat on the server, but we have some issues right now with the easy anti-cheat. So that's why we're pushing matches to so strong, because recently even the whole scene with regard to Optic India and Forsaken has risen up to a very, toxic extent. So we're trying to push that down as much as we can and avoiding discussion. Harsh asks how to play CSGO after 12:30 at night. I'm assuming, Harsh, you are a VIT student, since VITians actually have the system where the Wi-Fi closes at 12:30. Sorry. So what we have figured out, apart from actually using a VPN to bypass that, since the internet actually works, but then our logins, the student logins, don't actually work. So if you do start searching for a match or searching for a lobby at say 12:10, 12:15 or so, you get a match by 12:20, and what happens is you're still connected to the match throughout the entire duration, and the time what we've observed is 12:30 to 12:45 ke beach. What happens is the CSGO actually doesn't work, and this is the case even for Dota. So you can't start searching for matches after that, you can't start hosting lobbies, etc. So when you do start a match and end say after 12:45 or say after 1 a.m., you can still continue in the same lobby and still search. That's at least in the case of CS. I don't exactly know the scene with Dota, since I've started Dota recently again.
What you do with Dota is that as soon as your fortress is going to die, you just disconnect, go to the watch section and start watching a match. So
that ensures your internet is still connected, and
yeah.
the Wi-Fi system is pretty out of place. So you're still connected till 4 a.m. and after 4 a.m. once you log in again, then it works as such. 12:30 to 4 is the time when you can't actually connect to something new. You have to stay connected to the game, connected to say Dota 2 coordinator or the CSGO lobby, and you can play during the time. Chiku says use Geo. Yes, like most of us do have Geo. Yeah, we saw the deleted message. So using Geo again gives a few spikes. Like example myself, I don't get a stable ping, and even if the ping is stable, which is very rare, I do get a ping of 80, 90, even 100 sometimes on Indian servers itself. Singapore is always 150 plus, so can't really play after that. We don't really wish to promote politics out of what we'll be doing for the current leagues. And Harsh asks, what are your views regarding Forsaken? See, at the end of the day, Forsaken, he's a person from our age, and he had dreams, say, if not personal, about representing himself and pitching himself as a very good player. So at the end of the day, we do understand his viewpoint, though we do not obviously promote it. We know what he did was wrong, but the amount of flaming he's receiving from the community, I personally feel that that isn't wrong, and that's actually creating a very toxic and bad environment about this. This was also with respect to flaming the So Strong admins for their comments and them defending. Thank you, Shubham Bhaiya. And what's your opinion on Pepsi? I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't want you to actually continue what you are going to add after Pepsi Meri Thandi. Kaushik is actually the player who goes by the name of Hit. You can watch out him. He's a global elite, or when he actually plays, he becomes a global elite for some reason. I personally feel he's boosted. So Hit plays from team Idli Dosa, and there were some jokes and some actually accusations on one of his team members when he played for Gameathon, but that was just passed off as actually Photoshop edits. So Kaushik, do watch out for your current teammates as well. And can you introduce yourselves, please?
Yourself.
We'll start with Saurabh because Saurabh has been pretty quiet.
So I am Saurabh. Like, I have been a part of Dota since like for the past 10 years. Yeah.
And he still is.
And I still am a legend. So
he still is a legend, but he was actually smurfing with me. I'm a crusader at Dota. Like since I recently started playing again. I used to play a year back for a while, just casual Dota, But Saurav actually fed with a tanky hero. I'm sure even for the guys at CS:GO, a tank means someone who actually takes in the damage, has the least deaths. But hey, he's not someone who kills people, but he has the least deaths. Our dear Saurabh Bhole, legend, ancient, whatever he claims his rank is, fed 411 with Timbersaw. And Timbersaw is one of the tankiest heroes in game against heroes like Ricky and Ro, agility heroes who actually give him a lot of tank by giving armor. And
what can I say when I have a support that doesn't want to support me?
Our support went to 17. Yeah, the support was bad, but the support was not a smurf. Our carry went 317 without any damage. Again, we aren't blaming the carry because it was a Crusader game, things happen. But we are questioning the ability of the Smurf who claims to be his ancient. Legend, sorry. A legend going 411 against Crusaders. What do you guys think about that?
They might be smurfing too. You never know.
Right, Harsh asked any VIT Steam groups. Right, Harsh. See, I'm assuming you're a CS:GO player. We did have a team called VIT Counter-Strike on Steam in my first year. I'm a third year right now, so 2.5 years back, we did create the group. That initiative was taken, but then it didn't really work out. We have some 30-40 odd people there, but then nobody actually plays. We do have communities on of CS:GO and Dota on WhatsApp. So if you are active, you can actually just put in your number here. We'll add you to the respective community, whichever you wish to be included in. Those communities are quite hyperactive and a lot of discussions regarding the current matches, the current gaming scene. In case of CS:GO, with regard to Forsaken, the memes, the flaming, the individual opinions, everything was on there and it's pretty active. The Dota community also, like, there's a lot of informal discussions about everything under the sun. And we do have a few community figures like the feeding legend who can't smurf even at Crusader. So it's a very friendly environment for each of the communities, and as of right now, see, Steam, we don't see many people actually coming up taking this sort of informal initiative, since WhatsApp is something people use every day. Yeah. Kaushik says it's cancer. Kaushik says it's cancer because, as I said, he is a global elite on Steam, but people flame him for smurfing. Smurfing as in he's actually a silver, but he has a global elite account. It's a reverse of smurfing. In the same scene we saw with Saurabh as well. So again, that's why he is blaming it. Harsh, I don't know why you deleted your message. We'll add you to the communities. You can actually even send the message. You can, yeah, you can actually send, as Sandeep said, you can send a message to our YouTube account or to Sandeep himself. We'll add you to the respective communities. Yeah, SMS bombing incoming, that was the issue. We tend not to put in such information to public since you'll be having a problem as well. Any other questions from the community? So strong stats of whom hit? Do King Cobra with a .98 IR says he's a global elite. Does that count? Sandeep can't. He's admin, I guess. Sorry,
He's a
what's
moderator.
the moderator? Sandeep did delete the message there, and since he's a moderator, so he generally tends to filter our stuff and pushes us from the behind, saying don't swear on stream because you know we have those sort of things, and since college students do that a lot. So, anyways, thank you so much for the questions so far, and any more, especially from the Dota community, will be appreciated. Yeah, Kaushik, boosting IR, boosting, playing each individual games for IR doesn't count. Do you have any questions from the Dota community? Like, we did see Vatsal. Vatsal is a part of the Dota community. He's involved with the BNOC League as well. 80 AR is basically 80 damage per round for those of you who don't know. That's
For the CSGO matches.
yeah,
on the
Chico,
stream.
the CSGO matches will be streamed once the issues with the servers are sorted out, because the servers right now we have are hosted on Amazon Web Services. So last week we had scheduled some of them. The match with Team Pro Ninjas, the match with other teams who played as well. But one of the matches, Team LD Dosa versus Team Pink, could not be played on the on the servers because AWS was down then. That's why we played on SoStrong, and SoStrong actually does not allow us to spec. I'm not personally that familiar with SoStrong. Using a GoTV IP, maybe we can stream. And since this will be on weekends, we'll be trying to stream each of the matches and push in individual casters as well. So your reviews or your suggestions on those will be actually appreciated, Kaushik, putting your stats here isn't going to help you become better. So this sort of fun interaction keeps going on in the communities. We'll try to push in the group links of the WhatsApp groups for the VIT communities as well. And for the team captains, we have another separate group where when actually official discussions and official announcements are made. The headphones right now are provided by Stealth itself, and since those aren't really aligned with our sponsors, we can't actually mention those. So I think this one is a one from Circle, and I don't know, Sandeep. Right. I personally, if you're asking me, I use the HyperX Cloud for my individual game. Right, Sora, which headphones do you use? What is your setup?
I don't use it. I'm a noob.
Legend who doesn't use headphones and blames feeding on that. Yes, that's the sort of people we have in our community right now. Anyways, any other questions, guys? So, for those of you who weren't, watching from the individual thing, BNOC season 1 is going on right now with 6 teams in CS, and 7 started off with 8, but one of the teams actually could not play due to their personal issues. So there'll be 7 teams for Dota. The matches are live, the fixtures are live on challenge.com/BNOC CSGO and challenge.com/BNOC Dota. And the season 2 will we plan on starting the season 2 after our own review session and publicity after December, probably December end or Jan start is the plan for season 2. After the season 2, we'll be having a boot camp session for each of the state leaders. These state leaders will be called the cohort leads, who will be elected by the century leads. The century leads are actually the community leader for each game of each college. Like we have a lot of colleges aligned with us who will be playing in the next or future BNOC leagues. So each of the college will have one representative for each game. For example, if I am the representative of CS:GO for VIT, Saurabh for Dota 2 of VIT, so we'll be the individual century leads for each game. These like we will be voting for the cohort leads. Cohort leads will be the state leaders. So in Tamil Nadu, if we have example, take three colleges right now: VIT Vellore, IIT Madras, NIT Trichy. So all these colleges, the century leads will be voting for cohort leads. The cohort leads will be the community face for each game for each state. India has 29 states, and we plan on pushing all of the colleges from there towards gaming and towards competitive and streaming, broadcasting, interacting with the crowd, those sort of things. So we'll be pushing in them as the cohort leads. All these cohort leads will be actually having a boot camp or a summer camp session. This may be, we aren't giving you a confirmation, may be in Goa. So this can be the trip you planned out with your friends, but it's never worked out because you know this is college and this always happens. Garibo wali feeling थोड़ी ज़्यादा आती है. We plan for Goa, we end up going to Pondicherry. So you know these sort of things happen. But this boot camp will actually be for all the cohort leads and the BNOC organization as well, where they can interact with each other, with the organization, given their feedback, review, plan out the grand finale, which is going to be happening in June sometime, June and probably. So right now we are willing to take in feedback from the current participants as well. The forms for season 2 are out already. For the participants who have played season 1, this link needs to be filled again. This is for individual members, not for the teams directly as it was last time. And apart from this, this stream is powered by AMD, and we'll be having the AMD Red Team form as well. We request you to fill out that as well, because that requires some interaction from the community to actually push this up. Their focus and our focus is actually aligned towards promotion of the esports community, reducing the negativity we, as especially seen with the case of Optic India and 4 Second in case of CS. So we try to reduce that by promotion of not just competitive gaming as such, because you organize a tournament, you hand out cash prizes, that's it. That involves only the participants, only the winners, only the tournament organizers. There's no actual interaction of the crowd who might be pushed into esports. So right now, example, if we have a person who isn't that into gaming, who can't actually game on his or her own PC, so what we tend to do is inspire them to actually come up with pushing gaming into themselves by interacting. They can do it in any other forms as well. People right now think that gaming means just you play a game, you are good at it, and that's the end of story. You participate in tournaments and that's the end of the story. We have a pretty passive scene with the case of crowd interaction. We did have a lot of people coming up with their individual casting. That is actually pretty amazing. But even the scene right now is, even the actual people who do watch CS:GO matches, they prefer outside casters for since they are more professional, they have more experience compared to our casters right now. So by promoting this, we promote that aspect as well. We try to push in India in the whole esports scenario as well across the world. And this we think is started by the college students, since that's the 18 to 22. That's a perfect range where people actually have enough time to game and equally have the interest as well. After that, you start with the job, you start with XYZ things, you have a lot of work. So people try to die down at that point of time, and before 18 you don't really have the resources to push this up. So that's why we're focusing on collegiate esports tournaments. Chiku, yes, we will be. See, actually, what happened with the first week matches was that the CS:GO server side demos were recorded but got deleted since we had to fix the server. So from right now, we that's why we asked for the individual demos as well, because these can be used as for the actual highlight reel, and these highlight reel will be pushed up at the end of the season, and once we actually start working properly, this will be pushed every week, probably player of the week, player of the week, game, like which game saw the most interaction, etc., so on and so forth. Did you Kaushik? No, I actually tried Broodmother for the first time, a few matches back. I fed worse than Saurabh fed in the Timbersaw match, because, I first picked Broodmother. I thought, at this stage, nobody really focuses on counter picking, people focus on whatever heroes they're comfortable with. But the second pick by the next team, the second pick on board was an Earthshaker. So he just blinked. And the Earthshaker happened to be a legend smurf, or so he claimed, like our darling Saurabh Hole claims. So that match got pretty screwed up. So no, I don't find Broodmother sexy. And because primarily I don't know how to play the hero. The link for BNOC Season 2 is mentioned. We'll just push it up once again. This is the link for Season 2. Sorry for spamming you, but yeah. This is the link for Season 2. Please fill it out. Get your teammates to fill it out. Apart from this, after we have, a list of participants, we'll be finalizing teams according to your college as well, and we'll give the Century lead the charge of that. So this is going to be a pretty interactive tournament. This is not mainstream tournament where we just conduct matches, give a prize pool, that's it. That's the end of story. No more, nothing else. We'll be trying to push in individual plays. We'll be trying to have managers and leaders for the individual teams as well. Because right now, as professional teams have their own managers, their own coaches, which are apart from the five. And right now, the college tournament scene also happens that people aren't exactly aware of the professional scene. So like for CS, when we have individually defined roles, we actually tend to play specific to the role, and you have a coach telling you what to do, how to do, what mistakes you made. That doesn't happen right now. So that's what we're trying to push as well, for making it more competitive, make individually improving people's skill. Because even if people are individually skilled but they don't have team coordination, they don't have well defined roles, they tend to screw up. We had India participating in ESL a few years back as well. Most of the reviews we got were that individually the players were very good, and I forgot which team. Team Wolf actually played against NIP, and they lost pretty badly. 16-2 or 16-3 was the final scoreline. But at the end of the day, even the official analysts of the matches did mention how well they had their individual skill. But this sort of organizational structure is what we require right now in India to push this ahead more. Your opinions? Kaushik, I would direct that question to Saurabh, because I really don't know what Naga Siren's choice of clothing is.
Depends on the request, doesn't it?
So let's talk about the default set. I'm assuming since Kaushik is a noob at CS, he might be new to Dota as well. So I'm assuming he doesn't have sets. So let's just start with what the default set is.
Why would I know about sets of some heroes?
Because you said you played Dota. And you said you
do.
played Dota from 10 years. Was Naga Siren a hero, 10 years back? Like, since Dota has been
Yeah.
adding individual heroes each and now.
Was
Was it the same roles, pusher, 2-star or 3-star carry as well? Anupam Bhaiya, yes, we will be adding you as moderator. It's done.
where were we?
We were at
Naga
Naga
Siren.
Siren. Okay,
Yeah.
since I don't know much about the hero, Saurabh, tell me what hero is Naga Siren? What is her primary role? I'm assuming it's a her because Kaushik wouldn't be interested in guys closing.
Uh, Currently, Naga is out of meta, but the
Right.
previous meta they use Naga Siren as position 4,
Position 4 in Dota is what?
a roaming
Can we
role.
support? Oh, right, right, right. Yeah,
So
what are the Dota positions? One is your hard carry, two
one is
is
your hard carry,
your
two is
mid,
your mid laner,
three
third
off
is the
lane.
off laner,
Okay, right,
fourth
right.
is
Got it.
the
Got it. Got it. Got it.
roamer,
Got it.
and fifth is the.
Got it. Yes, Sandeep. Skin for Naga, as he said. Choice of clothing. I don't think that was her own opinion. I think it was the game developer's opinion. You can rather ask that question.
Oh,
Anyways, moving on to announcements again. Season 1 is ongoing. Season 1's fixtures are up. Those can be found on the challenge sites as challenge.com/BNOC CSGO, BNOC Dota 2. We are streaming from Stealth Gaming Cafe in Vellore. The environment here is pretty friendly with related to gamers, and they have around 20 plus PC setup. We also do have a VR setup where people are welcome to try. Obviously it's not just a one-time thing where you just come and try and let go. We have a HTC Vive as the VR setup here, and the whole BNOC League is powered by AMD. So the AMD Red Team is a new initiative by them, which will be pushing gamers and pushing college students alike towards more inclination towards gaming, not just along the mainstream lines. Because when we see outside tournaments, we see tournaments in Comic Con as well. The Comic Con which happened recently in Hyderabad, I think that's so CS:GO matches as well. I don't know much about Dota 2 in that phase, but that was what we're aiming at. That was a very crowd interactive session. You had cosplays coming in, you had people from other communities coming, joining, looking at the games, interacting with the crowd. We had casters, analyzers, streamers sitting there, and just talking about the games in general, casting individual games. We see a lot of potential, and this is what our main aim is, to be pushing the entire gaming scene in India on the whole, aimed primarily at the college students. The form for season 2 is spammed in chat, and it's going to be pinned. You can fill out the individual forms as a college student, and we'll be pushing the forms for the teams as well sometime soon. Do follow the BNOC Facebook page. Also, the whole league is actually the brainchild of Numlock Technologies. Numlock is a system integration technologies where they just come in and they're involved with the whole of this. Their main focus is on using gaming for educational purposes as well. When people learn about how PC building works, what goes where. Most of us still, even being gamers, most of us might not know how to set up your own PC. Like you have some minor issue with it. Just the problem was with I mean BDOSing, blue screen of BSOD, blue screen of death. So I had that issue 3 years back when I just started out with my PC which was built. So I sat for 2 days because every 10 minutes it was crashing. At the end of the day, the simple solution was that I just had to remove my RAM sticks, clean them, and put them back. Most people, even gamers, don't know such minor things as well, let alone assembling your own PC. So what Navlock is doing is they are going around to colleges across India. They came to VIT for Gameathon recently. They've been to St. Joseph's, to other colleges as well. So what they are trying to push is a pretty good initiative, is what I feel. And BNOC comes under Numlock Technologies as such because it's their brainchild, and this is powered by AMD. Alright, so we have no other comments. So I think we'll be winding up the stream soon. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the interaction. Any other queries, questions can be mentioned to any of the admins, myself, Saurabh, if you have our numbers. There is a helpline of sorts, like the helpline number for each individual query on the website as well. The website is bnoc.in, bnoc.in. The fixtures also are there, the league details, the matches, standings, everything's there as well. We'll probably be winding up this stream by closing off with a video of BNOC. Thank you all so much for coming in, for watching. Thank you, Saurabh. for actually sitting with me. Sorry about the technical difficulties which we faced during the start of this stream, and we had some work with regard to our own academics. We had to give our project reviews, वगैरह, so the other co-host couldn't make it. So thank you all so much for coming in. The form links are mentioned. Do not forget to like to the BNOC page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll be pushing in more data there. The announcements will be pushed again there. So thank you all for coming in.